What's up? This is Sports with another WWE video. This one is going to be about a tag team that was once one of the greatest tag teams in the company. Fan favorites, even though they were bad guys, and are now just complete joke. This is about The Miz and John Morrison. Alright. Where did it all go wrong? Now, of course, they had like a 10-year break, but let's just do a quick recap of their original run. They became a tag team kind of accidentally. They were on ECW and they kind of just paired up with each other due to them being they were 2 out of the 3 choices to face CM Punk for the title at Cyber Sunday. Fans voted. They were 2 out of 3 choices. Shortly after that, they just became a tag team challenge for the titles. They beat MVP and Matt Hardy for the titles, and they held those titles for over 200 days across ECW and SmackDown. And then they ended up losing them at the Great American Bash to Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. But then it's funny because they started a feud with Crime Time afterwards in like the fall of 2008, and that feud overshadowed both Raw tag title and SmackDown tag title feuds that were going on at the time. They were getting like pay-per-view matches instead. Like honestly, they were the top tag team in WWE. So Morrison and Miz, even without the tag titles, they were having this really good feud with Crime Time. Brand split didn't really mean anything. Crime Time were a Raw team. Miz and Morrison were ECW, but they were still feuding. They ended up beating CM Punk and Kofi Kingston at a untelevised house show to become the World Tag Team Champions, which were not the titles that they won previously, but the other titles, which were the ones that were belonged on Raw. Because at this point, ECW, because at first it was a talent exchange with ECW and SmackDown. This time it was a talent exchange with Raw and ECW. So, they were the World Tag Team Champions late 2008. Went into 2009. This reign wasn't as prolific as the first one, but they were still one of the top teams in WWE. And then they ended up losing those titles at WrestleMania, and went on to break up at the WWE draft. And we know what they did as single stars, but in early 2020, John Morrison returned to WWE when The Miz turned heel. During the Daniel Bryan Fiend, rivalry, Miz was frustrated, with the, I believe he lost to Kofi Kingston. That's what it was. And he was just coming off that feud with the Fiend and Daniel Bryan, and he lost to Kofi. He was frustrated, and Morrison was backstage with him. That was his return, and I was really happy about his return, and he came back strong. I think he beat Big E in his return match, and if it wasn't Big E, then it was Kofi, because I'm 100% sure he won his return match on SmackDown. It was really cool to see Morrison back. And, they began a feud with the New Day for the tag team titles, naturally. And they won the tag team titles. Things were great. And they went on to the Elimination Chamber, and they defended those tag team titles successfully. And at WrestleMania, John Morrison was able to defend it. I believe it was John Morrison in the ladder match. Yeah. He successfully defended the titles. But then on the SmackDown after Mania, Big E won the tag team titles for the New Day. And this is where it all went downhill for Miz and Morrison. Big E won. It was regular triple threat matches because The Miz had COVID, so he wasn't at WrestleMania. So Big E won the tag team titles in a regular triple threat. New Day then went on to Money in the Bank. They beat Miz and Morrison to retain the titles in a fatal 4-way that also included a Lucha House Party and the Forgotten Sons. And then after that, it wasn't. I mean, I say that's where it all started to go downhill. That's in hindsight, but at the time it wasn't really, because their next feud was with the Universal Champion. They were in the main event storyline of SmackDown, but you quickly realized that it wasn't the main event storyline. I forget which one overshadowed it at the time, but going into Backlash, Miz and Morrison and Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship was never the main event on SmackDown. And anything they did was never the main event, the ending of SmackDown. I think Jeff Hardy and Sheamus even had a main event segment over them. Maybe AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, maybe they might have had that IC title match. I know that was the main event of SmackDown, and I think that was during that time. You know what I'm saying? They were never the main event. So, you could see where they were kind of positioned. And once that feud was over, once they lost that handicap match to Braun Strowman at Backlash, that's where everything went downhill. I cannot tell you what they did. I think they feuded with Heavy Machinery for a short bit. I think they both lost to Jeff Hardy in singles matches. Didn't do anything. Started feuding with Heavy Machinery again. And then the briefcase stuff happened, about probably 3-4 months later. And the Miz started feuding with Otis. And this feud, the feud was pretty good, but it went on longer than it should have, honestly. But Miz ended up winning the briefcase, even though they're on different brands. That was kind of weird. But Miz became Mr. Money in the Bank. But you see, ever since that feud with Braun Strowman, John Morrison, I don't think has won a match. Neither has The Miz. They have lost to everybody. Name them all. Everybody they've lost to. They've lost handicap matches to Drew McIntyre. They've lost one-on-one to Jeff Hardy. Let me think. People on SmackDown. Braun Strowman, Otis, maybe even Tucker. Tucker might even be one of them. You know what I'm saying? Just losses after losses after losses, and then went to Raw, and it's just more of the same, and it's still the same shit with me as Mr. Money in the Bank. He tried to cash it in, and he lost, but then he got it back, and then he's still losing. And I don't know if they'll ever get back on track. Like I said, he literally has the Money in the Bank, but at this point, I don't even see Bruh really becoming, but I don't even see him becoming champion at this point, just because of the way that they made him look. The Miz and John Morrison were great back in 07, 08, and 09, and in 2020 it started off great, but man, they have fallen to the point where every week they'll be on Raw, but they never win, and honestly, they're getting to the point where it's annoying when they come out, because you already know that they're jokes, but we're supposed to be worried about him with that briefcase. It's almost like they're just annoying at this point. And that's bad, because I'm fans of both of them. And they're great, and they should be more than that. They should be in the tag team title scene, or Miz or Morrison should cash in and win that title for a month or something at least. But just give them some wins, man. Just let them beat some people. I know they just beat Keith Lee in a handicap match, but it's bullshit. Fucking handicap match. Give them some singles wins, some tag team wins. It doesn't have to be the end for them, man, but from what they used to be to what they are right now, and I know it sounds weird because back then they were the tag champions, and now, Miz is Money in the Bank, and they're kind of in the main event scene, but they're in the main event scene, but they're just they're goofballs, straight goofballs. And I believe that's gonna do it today. The rise and fall of John Morrison and The Miz as a tag team, man, because honestly, at this point, I just don't care about him, man. I'm just ready for the Miz to cash in, lose, and then hopefully just give him a hold, just redo everything, put him in the tag division, maybe even turn face. I don't know, do something with him, man. Give him the tag titles. You gotta do something. You gotta do something, because what's going on right now ain't working, and nobody wants to see this shit. And I feel bad for him. I feel really bad because I know Miz probably isn't going to cash in successfully. But I hope John Morrison and the Miz can get it together, man. And I'll see y'all in the next one.